GC MMA guys, to all the new subscribers we gained over the last week from UFC 305, welcome. We're coming to you this week to break down Cannonier versus Borralho. First of all, guys, we just wanted to say, if you were showing support to the channel, you've been a subscriber, we appreciate it. That was a pretty tough time. It was like a battle between two sides of good and evil, and good always prevails. And to all the people who decided that they saw our stuff and they liked us, and even if you were just leaving a comment, we appreciate that, boys.
Yeah, we fuck with all the engagement you guys been blessing us with, like the new subs, all the comments, like even people out there defending us in the comments, like that means like a lot to us when we just open our phones and see a notification of some dickhead trying to say some stupid shit, and then like one of the boys who watch the channel are sliding for us, like defending us, like that means a lot to us, boys. But coming on to this card, we got two women's fights to start the card. We're not even going to touch on those. The first actual fight of the card, we've got Jose Medina versus Reese. And I'm going Reese here, boys. Like, Reese is raw in this division. Like, he's going to be a problem. Finishing all his fights in the first round. Like, the under 1.5 is at like minus 140, boys. Like, the odds makers know Reese is gonna finish this guy in the first round.
Boys, what I just don't get is how Reese has two fights in the UFC. Brundage and Marquez, guys we've actually at least heard of, right? Now he's getting Jose Medina. It's like Reese took a step back. He's fighting people you've actually heard of. He gets fucked up in one, fucks one up in the other. And now he's fighting some guy that we've never even heard of. Guys, Reese is damn near a lock on this.
Yeah, and the odds reflect that.
He's got power, boys. Like, he will thrill. He's probably going to sleep this guy, honestly.
Yeah. He's at minus 400 right now. Like, the odds reflect that. Reese is definitely the pick here, boys. The value is kind of fucked. The money line is kind of fucked. But maybe Reese,
toss him in a parlay.
Yeah, or like maybe take the under or some shit like that. But moving on, we have Claus versus James Latop. Boys, we were riding the Claus train hard,
till the wheels fell off.
Yeah, till the fucking thing fell off the rails.
And it fell off the rails hard.
It fell off the rails and fell off a cliff and rolled down a hill and blew up. That's what happened to that shit, boys. Fucking, we picked him against Chase Hooper, and boys, were we fucking wrong. He got dropped by Chase Hooper
and got his ass whooped.
And
I can't pick him ever again, guys. I don't give a fuck if it's James Latop. I barely even remember who that guy is.
Yeah.
Like,
quite frankly, who the fuck is this guy? But still, like, I'm down to pick him. Just because Claus, in reality,
Claus is one in his last 5. Yeah. Guys, I might go James Latop.
James Latop got submitted by Chris Padilla, but it's just like, I can't pick this fucking guy.
Like he said, Claus, go make some kids some toys.
Winter's just around the corner. Next up on the card, we got Dennis Bazooka versus Francis Marshall. Guys, before, I'm pretty sure this fight was like Dennis Bazooka versus Danny Silva or some shit.
It's Francis Marshall.
And I was definitely down.
It's against that Rojo idiot.
Yeah, I was definitely not planning on picking Dennis Bazooka over Danny Silva, but
now it might be.
But now that fucking Francis Marshall lost a split decision to William Gomez and got knocked out by Isaac Dulgarian. Oh my god.
Isaac Dulgarian, boys?
The odds aren't even out for this shit at the time of recording this, but
it does not
matter.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Bazooka is running that.
We've got Bazooka.
He's not even that good of a fighter. He's just better than fucking Francis
Marshall.
Francis. This guy is just fucked. Francis Fire Marshall. Okay! This guy, scratch that. This guy's getting fucked up. This guy is already getting fucked up. Boys, I'm telling you right now. All right, now on to the main card. Edmund Shabazian versus Gero Mearshart.
I'm going to have to fade GM3 on this one, boys. I'm going the Golden Boy Edmund Shabazian.
Guys, I feel like Joe Mearshart has just been old for as long as you can fucking remember at this point.
That guy was a veteran when I started watching the UFC.
That guy was a veteran when we were fucking born at this point. Edmund Shabazian, I know he's not the best fighter. He can go rogue time to time. But,
guys, Brian Bam Bam Barberena dropped GM3 in the last fight, and I can definitely trust Shabazian to have enough pop on the feet to put him out.
Yeah, I mean, you should not, in no circumstances, be getting dropped by fucking Bam Bam Brian Barberena. Like, that guy was just like some fat hillbilly who happened to find his way into the UFC and had a couple fights against other shittier fighters. Like, that type of
when that guy got cut from the UFC, it said, it's okay, I'm never gonna stop fighting. We'll see where the Bam Bam fam takes us. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
And he's dropping
the Bam Bam fam. You suck, dude.
What the hell is that Bam Bam fam anyway? Like, if I was, hey, you're invited to go to the Bam Bam fam, I would be like, what in the fuck? Brian Barberena is such an idiot, bro. I wish he was still in the UFC so we could watch him get his ass kicked.
They should have done Paul Craig versus Bam Bam.
Yeah, a retirement fight. Win or lose, you have to fucking retire. They should have made that. Alright, next fight on the card, we've got Michael Morales versus Neil Magny. The obvious pick here is Michael Morales, boys. He's a prospect in this division. I know Neil Magny has fraud checked a couple guys like Mike Mallet, which one of our first videos was betting on Mike Mallet, and fucking Neil Magny ruined that shit for us. But
no, Neil Magny didn't ruin it. Mike Mallet ruined it. We're getting full mounted by Neil Magny and KO'd.
Yeah, I know Michael Morales doesn't have a lot of finishes, but in his wins, he does look like a dominant fighter. Like, he definitely is winning all those fights, putting on a good performance. I wish he would finish people more, but it is what it is. And Neil Magny at 37, boys, like, I can't pick Neil Magny.
I wouldn't bet on this fight, boys. Morales is minus 600, and when Neil Magny is in the mix, that's not a risk I'm willing to take. I'm not saying he could beat everybody, but I'm not comfortable laying minus 600 on someone that Neil Magny could definitely out-grapple.
Yeah, the betting on this fight is, the value's fucking gone at this point, boys. Minus 600 is not something I'm willing to lay, and I don't think anybody should be willing to lay, especially like Neil Magny has shown he can fraud check prospects. So I do think Michael Morales would win this, but I just would not advise betting on this fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next up on the card, we've got the tough finale. We've got Ryan Loder versus Robert Valentin. I'm going Robert Valentin here, boys. Like, he's definitely going to be something in the UFC, in my opinion. Like, just his mentality and the Ultimate Fighter and the way he's, like, scrapping with people. Like, he's going in there to take the other motherfucker out of this earth. Like, he's not going in there just to win the fight. He's going in there to take somebody's fucking soul. Like, I fuck with him for that. And I just, like, Ryan Loder, I don't think Ryan Loder is going to be able to handle that type of shit. Like, this is destined for Robert Valentin to win this fight. It's meant to be, boys.
Guys, I haven't seen shit of Valentin, but he's been telling me since like the first couple weeks, The Ultimate Fighter, that he was running shit. So I'm just going to have to blindly pick him as well.
Boys, like, the co-main event of this card is fucking Angela Hill versus Tabitha Ritchie. Like, why is this even on the main card? Why is this in the co-main event? You could sit, like, talk up women's MMA all you want, but you cannot look at me man to man, eye to eye, and tell me that this co-main is like something you've been looking forward to or you've been wanting to see for a long time. Like,
Angela
you're out of
Hill
your
is
damn mind.
Angela Hill is literally 14-12 or some shit. Like, guys, she's fucking pretty much 50-50.
Dude,
Why? Like,
why is there a 14-12 fighter in the UFC? That's like, sure, it's women's, like,
well,
but
Dennis
it doesn't.
Tallulah was like 13-11.
I know, like, I'm saying those guys need to get the fuck out of here. Same with the Tafas and Walter Walker. To be honest, like, those guys are not UFC level. But I don't even know why I got on them. Just like,
they're
fuck
not
them.
UFC level, especially not junior top up.
Oh. Anyways, the fucking main event: Jared Cannonier versus Kai Borralho.
Boys, this one's kind of tough because I think it's going to be a lot closer than people are giving it credit. Like, I rewatched the fight with Borralho and Paul Craig, and while he was never at any point losing that fight, he really didn't look like super good until the last minute whenever he finished Paul Craig. And I feel like, while yes, Imavov definitely beat the shit out of Cannonier in that last round, I don't think we should just be counting out Cannonier in this fight. I'm still going to go Borralho because he has the grappling edge, and I mean, we really don't even know about the power yet because he's beaten like Armin Petrosian, like fucking Paul Craig. Like, we really don't know how powerful this guy is, but he's training with the Fighting Nerds, and he's had 3 months since his last fight, and I cannot count the Fighting Nerds out.
Yeah, especially after last week, Carlos Prates fucking was the first guy to knock out the Leech. But yeah, I had Cannonier up 2 rounds to 1 in that fight with Imavov, where the ref Herzog completely went rogue. He had to have money on Imavov because he stopped the fight early on the feet. Like, don't get me wrong, Cannonier was rocked, but that should not have been stopped where it was. But Kai Borralho, he's got the Fighting Nerds. This gym is fucking on fire, boys. And we would be stupid not to be betting with this gym. Like, they are on fire. They're taking over the UFC. Kai Borralho's next up to fight. He's going to have the whole gym behind him. Sure, Jared Cannonier is a big step up in competition, but Jared Cannonier is also 40 fucking years old at this point. He's out of his prime. He's looking a lot slower recently than normal. And his power, it's not as threatening as it used to be at this point in his career. And I think Kai Borralho has the chin to eat whatever Cannonier throws at him, and he has the potential to take it to the ground and submit Cannonier. So I'm picking Kai Borralho here, boys. But just be wary, because it's not as, I don't think it's going to be as dominant as people think, but I do think Borralho wins this fight.
Yeah, guys, Borralho is definitely the pick in this fight. I mean, Cannonier, the last person he knocked out was Derek Brunson, and before that it was Jack Hermanson. Like, I get it, he's the killer gorilla, but he's really not knocking people out and shit. Like, a lot of his wins have been decisions, so I'll definitely trust Borralho as the hungrier fighter, although this is 5 rounds. Like we said, don't count Cannonier out, but definitely going Borralho. Boys, thank you again. If you're new to the channel and subscribed, or if you've been here and you're still showing support, boys, we really appreciate that shit. So it makes it worth doing all this stuff anyways, because it's entertainment at the end of the day when we're seeing people comment on our shit, whether it's good or it's bad, boys. So if you're taking time out of your day to click a couple buttons on our shit, we appreciate it, boys.
Thank y'all, boys. Like, we've been trying to get these videos out no matter what. Like, our schedules are complete opposite of each other, but we still find a way to fucking record this shit. So it means a lot when y'all boys are showing us love and engagement. Like, thank y'all, but we'll see y'all in the next video.
GCMMA out.